Hey guys, I'm Taylor and this is John from the HGA Group, and we're talking all things data in this episode of the Sim Sessions. So I think the biggest part of what John and I do together, we've been working together for what?
8 years.
Yeah, like 8 years now. And collectively, over the course of our roles growing, we've learned that our clients are constantly looking for data to help them drive decisions. So basically not flying blind.
And then they always go and ask, this is a marketing question, I think. So we asked Taylor. And then they ask, this is an accounting question. I asked John. Boom. And then it turns out they're the same questions.
Yeah.
Wastes their time.
Yeah, so John and I, the questions that we get asked by clients is exactly that. Like sometimes it'll be something that maybe is disguised as a marketing question, but actually can be answered by accounting data. For example, one of our clients is a nonprofit and they kind of want to know where their donors are coming from, how much they're donating, and how their marketing can really how they can show the success of their marketing. So actually together with a bunch of spreadsheets that I try and stay away from, that's John's lane, paired with some of their online data and our campaign data, it's kind of allowing them to make more decisions on where to put their spend.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of things that marketing definitely generates information that we can find trends on for financial data, and they all correlate. And I think once you start combining the two aspects of financial items and marketing items, the clients generally create some sort of a decision-making tool that helps them drive their business.
What do you actually do on a daily basis, though? Like, what's your role?
Spreadsheets galore. We look at the financial data. We first look at the boring accounting stuff, which is the income statement, balance sheet, and all that. But then it deep dives into a question where, hey, where is the revenue coming from, and where is this number getting pulled from, and what other softwares you have. And typically these things have marketing data in there as well, and most people don't know what they are for, and they just think it's just there and someone deals with it, and it turns out no one deals with it and they run blind. Sometimes they do deal with it and it works out and that's good for them, but sometimes the Gray Street will then help out with marketing and it collaborates with financial data, and you start seeing trends and you can help clients with that in an operational sense.
I think a lot of ways that we collaborate in the marketing team too with the not just the IFS team but accounting is like we are really allowing owners and people within the business to make educated decisions on something as small as like, do I have enough money to buy this piece of equipment? Like that's not a marketing lane, but we kind of go, hey, it'd be an awesome service line. It would be XYZ. And, you or Tyson from HGA CPA can go, whoa, guys, we need to get past this hump, or we need to do this, or hey guys, green light, this is a great idea. Let's pass it over to Gray Street and let's market it.
That's the whole idea of our one-stop shop anyways, right? So you go to one location and you can go to marketing, you can go to tax, you can go to law, you can go to IFS and connect the two and find the questions and answers together.
How does marketing data help you make decisions?
Marketing data generally has a weakness in that most people don't see a direct correlation on the financial data, but it creates trends. And once you have financial data that's consistent and accurate, you can kind of correlate that with marketing information, like a certain event or certain timestamp can create hey, this is what happened, and then you see a trend that goes upwards. Will it have exact increase in correlations? Probably never, just because how generic and widespread the marketing information comes from. But yeah, it's kind of, there is a correlation, and it's kind of subject to however you want to use it.
Something that John and I worked on recently, it's kind of an ongoing project, is one of our clients is a restaurant, and it's decisions and data that I never thought as a marketer that I'd really be super involved with, i.e. do we open on Mondays? Do we open at 12 on Fridays? And collectively with John's data kind of that we've been able to crowdsource from inside the restaurant, also with the engagement and even specific products that we post online on an Instagram account, we can kind of make those decisions and bring them to the ownership team and go, hey, here, we hear what you're saying. Here's actually how much I think you did something like how much it costs to stay open.
Yeah, how much it costs to stay open, and like, are we generating money in certain time slots? And events. I think events is the biggest one. You can generally have a direct correlation of like the attendance and how much people are spending, and again, it's subject to however you want to view it, and it's a mindset, right? So it creates tools for the owners then that use our marketing information and our financial information together to create decision making on certain days to open, I guess, if you want to call it that, or events or special items on the menu.
Somewhere like another place where John and I have worked a lot together is allowing us as a marketing team to see more wins and successes too, not only just to show our clients, but I think a lot of people that have put any money or budget towards marketing at all know that it's not necessarily like put a quarter in and get a gumball. It can be really uncertain of, is this directly working out? Is it really attributing to our growth? So one thing that we've seen is really interesting in one of our clients is that if we post a specific product X amount of times over the socials, across whether it's, an Instagram reel or on LinkedIn, we can actually go right back to the data that John's generated and see an increase in that exact product in that exact month, actually down to the exact day if it were to be ordered from the restaurant that day. Like it's something that even as an owner myself, it's exciting to see data from my side where we can go, okay, guys, look, we know it's working, and we know we can make decisions based on our strategy, but the data that IFS produces allows us to show the owner of our client and go, hey, this is going well.
It's essentially confirming your theories, I guess, right? From a marketing sense. One thing that the return on investment on marketing is generally not realized right away. We generally want to have some kind of a trend directions, and that's where we kind of step in and confirm that information or theory or thought or even the post for that matter.
I think that I've learned a lot about accounting and you've learned a lot about marketing since we've worked together.
Enough to be dangerous.
Yeah. I think to your point, we know, and you're able to identify marketing moves based on your data.
Even marketing products or marketing services, which then leads to generating questions and leads for Taylor and her team, and then hopefully the vice versa as well.
We use the term vanity analytics a lot in our team, and that basically means that we can show you the reach and engagement and clicks, but ultimately that a lot of time doesn't quite do the job. So when we compare those video views and reach and clicks to actual sales that are connected to a client CRM or the financial data that John can pull, that's real. Those are real impactful data-driven decisions, right? Those are things that can move the needle for the business, and they can also be the reverse too. They can help inform our strategy on what people like or what they hate. Do they want to learn more about this? Do they want to ingest more of this data? So it can inform our marketing strategy as well.
One of the cool things about financial data is marketing has a direct correlation to the top line revenue generations and invoicing and sales summaries and all that. When we analyze like the percentage of cost and how much you spend, generally you can kind of have a timestamp of certain events happening on a month-to-month basis, and it creates spikes. And that spikes triggers financial acumen, the analytics side of things of like, hey, what happened? There's a variance. And oftentimes it leads to increase in marketing spend or change in direction, and that gives financial information to Taylor and her team or any marketing side of services, and it creates some kind of a forecast confirmation that it's working or not.
Something to consider when you're making decisions based on data is how much, whether you're B2C or B2B, is how much is a client or conversion worth to you. So a lot of times when we go there, we don't know the answer to that question quite yet. If it's a company that sells one sort of product and it costs $11.99 and that's what a conversion is worth to you, great. A lot of times that's more of a gray area. So collectively with financial data and marketing data, based on how much we're putting in our spend every month, we can, we can work together to, even if you don't know the answer to that, we can come up with what is that customer worth to you, and how do you increase your marketing spend to increase your return?
A lot of business owners like to lump sum their marketing and advertising spend to one grouping in the financial sense, and they generally call it advertising and promotion. They lump sum meals, social media expense, general advertising all into one bucket. And marketing has a lot of different aspects. So there's like the social media side, advertising, meals, like I said, and donations. But then you can further break it down to certain expenses, then that will see some kind of a trend analysis in there. Like, are you spending enough in paid ads? Are you paying enough money in the social aspect? Having those categories broken out will then give some kind of information that will correlate to, hey, maybe you're not spending enough money in marketing as a whole. And within that bucket, do you need to break it down to different categories to help increase your advertising spend in hopes of generating leads and generating revenue? It doesn't have to be dollar for dollar. As long as there's more exposure, that creates successful trends. I think most people view it as, if I spend $1, I get $1 back right away. No, it's more of I guess spend $1 and I reached out to 4 people more, or compared to last month, or compared to the year before. And once you have that comparative and analysis and a benchmark on it, then you can kind of build on it and say, hey, what worked, what didn't work. And I think that is a useful information for Taylor and her team, or any marketing team, that will help with generating direction, strategy, branding, and hopes in all in turn, revenue.
You're really hyping us up here right now. This sounds really good. Like, do you want to be an actual official member of the Gray Street team?
Honorary. Yeah, that's great.
On the flip side of that, this also allows us to look at a client's spend and see if they're putting too many eggs in one basket. Like, there's a client that told me that they were spending like $14,000 a month on search engine optimization, and they didn't know if it was working. And to spend that amount of money on really any part of your strategy and not know if it's working is a big red flag. And, with data, the data doesn't lie. Like, we're able to look at literally the beautiful charts that John puts together with both of our sets of data and show you, hey, you know what? Actually, this is showing it's going really well. Or, hey, we're seeing, we're not seeing anything on this. So you're burning $14,000 a month. Like, there's been times too where we're able to audit things like that and tell you a real second opinion on your strategy if it's actually working or not.
Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
Accounting is always lean on as a confirmation tool. This is what you paid. This, you can't, like, money doesn't lie, right? And marketing is always fluid. You don't know if it works or not, or whatnot. I do like to tell clients and accountants themselves to break it out, because more data you can get, or the more trends you can find in the accounting side, it gives us more tools for any users of the financial data, so whether that be marketing, accounting, legal, and it gives you some sort of direction. We are like the foundation building blocks to confirm what you're trying to do.
I think, beyond the data and beyond, being able to actually make better decisions for our clients and for our strategies, when I have a meeting with a client and they talk about their donations, their sales, even their recruiting strategies, and they have a question that is more enriched in that data side, and I can go next door and have kind of a trusted partner and go, hey, so first of all, I don't even know, like, is this even real? Can I make this happen? And usually the answer is, do you have raw data? And the answer is usually no. So we have to do a little bit of collaborating on that front. But to have, even throughout the office, we have a set of trusted partners. If my client is buying a property, or has a legal question, or, needs to create a will, like, we have, to have trusted partners that I can walk across the office that, that I've known for so long and have that relationship with, and also don't have a problem. Hey, like, hey client, I'm just going to ask John about this. Do you mind if I bring him in? That's a relationship that is I think really valuable to us, but also really valuable to our clients too.
And the same goes when we have a meeting and says, hey, new company, and I'm making a website and new branding. I'm not doing that. I'm sending that over to Taylor, and
I wouldn't trust you to make a logo anyway. That happened the other day. Our client was making a brand new company and talked to John. John talked to us. We started on the website, the branding, the social media that week, and we're working on it right now. And, the best part about that is that our client feels supported, from all sides.
And there's only one meeting in one location.
One-stop shop, baby. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Thanks for watching.